I saw a comment the other day where someone was accusing the Russians of being a bunch of drunks, and he used this to sort of like prove that they are, no good. But is this correct? Let's find out. Alcoholism is a huge problem in Russia. People drink themselves to death. I think the average life expectancy for a Russian man is around 54 or something. And of course in Finland as well we see the same problem. People are drinking themselves to death. Alcohol related death is, I think it's the most common or the second most common cause of death in Finland. And like I said, some people are using this to prove that these peoples are inferior somehow. But I don't think this is a correct thing to say. It's not correct. And I want to show you, Norwegians, right? They are about as Nordic as you can get, along with the Swedes and Danes, of course. We're really the same. And we don't have the same problem today. But if you go some 100 years back in time, actually I tried to find something online about this because I didn't remember exactly which period this was that I'm going to talk about, but I think, and I didn't find anything, I guess they don't really want us to talk about it, but I think it was in the 15th or 16th or maybe even the 17th century. And during this time, in this period, Norway was suffering from so much alcoholism that the economy was about to collapse completely. Because people were so drunk all the time. I guess, would that make Norwegians inferior? Aren't they, the epitome of the Aryan race? They are, But they were even more drunk than the Russians are today. They were even more drunk than the Finns are today. The fact is that in this period, like I said, I don't remember exactly when it was, the church in Norway, they forced people into church, and in church they told everybody again and again and again that alcohol was good. And it was pushed to such a degree that when the Scandinavians made an alcohol of their own, they called it akevit, which is, derived from Latin aqua vitae, which means the water of life. And this is what the priests were preaching over and over again. If you had a health problem, drink the water of life, right? Alcohol. And of course the Norwegians, they were fed with this lie over and over again, and they started drinking. And in the end, like I said, there were so many alcoholics, there were so many problems because of, the water of life that the Christians pushed, that the economy almost completely collapsed. Hadn't we been a part of Denmark at the time, Norway would have collapsed. You can always argue that, well, there are no priests in Finland and Russia pushing alcohol like that. They're not pushing it like the water of life and the universal medicine for everything, every illness, every bad thing in the world can be cured with the water of life. No, they're not. But instead of that, they have a commercial alcohol industry pushing it in the same manner, sort of. It's almost, in Russia, it's almost, cheaper than milk or water. And they have a commercial interest in pushing alcohol. I guess it's the same in Finland, I don't know. You have to see at the reason why a population drinks, and you can't blame necessarily the population itself, and it surely is not a sign of their inferiority. Norway got rid of their alcohol problem, and I'm pretty sure the Russians will too, and I'm pretty sure the Finns will too. Norwegians, they were not inferior. That's not why they started drinking. They were not superior because they stopped. This was just a matter of circumstance. The Russians are not inferior because they are drinking. The Finns are not inferior because they're drinking. And I'm sure they too will find a solution and get back on top of things. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.